Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the RealTalk podcast.
We're here, another time, another podcast. It's us again. We don't have a guest today, but we have ourselves.
We don't need a guest.
We don't need
Look
a
at us.
guest.
Look at us. We're here. We're always giving you guys content every week
Exactly.
and stuff. Well, not every week. We missed it last week, but we're back again. Back in the studio. Little upgrades, minor upgrades, new mics. We've got lights behind us now. A little bit more of a set vibe. I'm liking it. So,
Yeah, I'm liking it too. I want to talk about the mics. The mics are incredible.
yeah, these
we
these
got,
are
uh,
nuts.
We got a new piece of equipment. It's just to make sure the quality's better because we used to have just a singular mic between all of us, even with the
between,
guests.
like 3 people.
So now you can just hear us much better, and then we can upload stuff to Spotify, so you can listen to us on the bus, on the train, or when you want to fall asleep. I listen to a lot of stuff when I'm falling asleep.
You know what? When you fall asleep.
Yeah. So the weird thing about me, right? Most people who I'm close with know about this. I fall asleep to listening to Brooklyn Nine-Nine about 5 nights out of 7 in the week.
What, every night?
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much like last night I did. Last night I fell asleep. I put some random episode on.
Have you not gone through like all the episodes?
Well, that's the
already?
thing. I like if you tell me like a quote from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I'll tell you exactly who said it and what season, what episode. It just like, you know when you like revise something over and over again, it just sticks to your mind. This is the same, just unintentionally. It just makes me fall asleep. Because I know some people like they listen to ASMR to fall asleep, right? That's what makes them feel good. I listen to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That's what it's so bad. Yeah, I have to put my I had to put a screen limit on Brooklyn on Netflix.
No way.
Because
Parental control.
Yeah,
I'm a 19-year-old man.
yeah, well, no, because it's only because I would wake up in the morning and either my phone would be like dead because it has no battery because Netflix would have gone on the whole night, or I just go on my screen time, and it's like 16 hours on my phone when I'm not actually I'm sleeping. But yeah, it's got to that place.
Yeah,
with
that's
me.
nuts. I never really. There was a stage when I was ill, like a couple of weeks ago. And I did this last year as well. Like when I was ill, you know, you just struggle to get to sleep. Like you just can't sleep. It's awful. I like just whacked on, you know, like some like lo-fi type of beats type of thing, right? I just whacked that on, and it would just send me straight to sleep. It was like remixes of like Gangsta's Paradise and lo-fi and shit like that. Really? It was quite funny, to be fair.
I don't think I can fall asleep to music. I don't think. No, it's because there's too much going on, and if I actually enjoy it, then it doesn't make me fall asleep. It makes me want to, stay and listen.
I had it on like very low volume though. Like it was on my like. I'm not gonna say her name because she's gonna activate. The little Amazon device.
Amazon lady.
Actually, you know what? I will, because everyone watching at home, theirs is gonna go off. Alexa, that bitch.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't have a.
Not like you don't have an Alexa at home.
No, I should never go into my life. Not another
The way you
girl
say
to
it's
let
like
me
got
down.
Some past like some ropey
No.
past relationship with
With Alexa, no. No, I don't know, because like who knows? Maybe like the government is listening to it 24/7. You could just be saying some random stuff.
That's one thing I'm
Do you know
worried
what I
about.
mean?
You know, I think that's kind of crazy. I don't like. It's like adverts on my phone. Like if I go on Facebook or Facebook, I don't use Facebook. What am I talking about? Facebook. If I go on like Instagram, and there's like an advert pops up, it will be like I would have been talking about music equipment or like especially these new microphones. Like I got adverts for microphones. I was like, how the fuck does it know?
I think 9 times out of 10, when you go into any website, so usually as you're a music guy and podcast guy, technology guy, right? So you do go on like Curry's, PC World. Well, no, it's just Curry's now. Yeah. Curry's, you go onto Amazon and you type in like mics, because as we just got new mics, right? And every time you go on this website, when it says allow cookies. Yeah. That is why.
That's them. You're basically agreeing for them to take your data and send it to the companies to like.
Yeah.
To use.
The reason why they call cookies is so it doesn't sound threatening.
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like they actually, instead of cookies, if it actually was what it actually is,
that's fact.
You'd be like, oh, would you want to allow your private information to be shared with other companies that's to do with us? Yeah, you wouldn't click allow, right?
Did you see the government thing about TikTok?
Yeah, I've got a couple glimpses of it. Yeah,
it's so funny, man. The questions they were asking were hilarious. The flipping government people, these people are meant to be running the country, and they asked the owner of TikTok or the CEO of TikTok. They go, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network? course it acts as the Wi-Fi. You can't. Your phone's connected to Wi-Fi. Everything uses
Yeah.
Wi-Fi. And there's these people, they're government bodies. They're meant to be like knowledgeable in the things they're talking about, and they're just waffling to him. I felt bad.
They're knowledgeable to some areas, but when you pick up someone who's, very businessy, technology based, like the CEO of TikTok, was he the CEO?
He was the CEO.
He was definitely higher up in TikTok, right? And then you ask old heads to talk about internet, IP addresses,
Yeah.
gathering data, how a phone does that. They don't really have a clue. They're just there because they're a bit too old school, in my opinion. You get someone
Yeah.
who, if someone was our age or 20 years old, right, and they really had an issue with TikTok and how they behave, get them on board because they're more likely to know what they're saying instead of old heads.
Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. It made me laugh though because I was like, these people are asking the most stupid questions to like a guy that knows what he's talking about. They just didn't give him a chance to speak. But if TikTok gets banned in America, that's mental. That's a lot of people. That's like most of TikTok's like accounts gone. Like,
is there like any? I guess they would just take your IP address, right?
yeah, something like that.
They wouldn't you can't just make a UK account or something like that.
Yeah,
They'll just take your
yeah.
IP address. I mean, that would get banned. That they make too much money out of it. There's nothing. It's a bit like Andrew Tate. They put him into prison because allegedly he does stuff, right? It's a bit like TikTok. Like, it's the same as Instagram in the sense that obviously here and there is a post that as soon as you post there is something that you shouldn't be posting or it's not safe for viewers or any type of viewers really, right? And then after 30 minutes, an hour, they take it down. I think that TikTok behaves the same way.
Yeah.
It's just they're kind of targeting TikTok because TikTok is a bit more of a child platform than Instagram.
Yeah.
But the policies are pretty much the same. They're just, I guess, they're just not as big on Instagram because older people use them more than younger people.
Yeah, I mean, there was a massive thing with the same thing happened with Mark Zuckerberg. Big up Mark. Yeah, there was the same thing happened with him. He was like stealing people's data without like people actually knowing that he was stealing data that they didn't consent to, all this kind of stuff. I think it's crazy. I think these people, like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, or the owner of TikTok, I can't remember his name, like they're so influential and they're so powerful, but they're not government. So they think they can get away with certain things, and then they just get stunned by the government. But then the government are also shit.
Yeah, but there's no real good government. Like it's hard to make a good government. There's a lot of people just chat shit about governments. Like our government's bad, their government's worse.
Yeah, I hate it. Like it's so bad.
Listen, there hasn't really been a great government ever that everyone can agree on. That 80% of the population is like, yeah, I'm happy with how they run things. So I mean, there's no point to even like complaining about the government. You just know whoever's in place, whether they're a liberal, conservative, or any of that stuff, right? They're always gonna be a bit trash. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what it is? I've always asked. Like, I don't want to get too boring in this podcast, but people always go, "Are you gonna vote?" I'm like,
"Are you gonna vote?"
I'll be so. Well, that's another person to add to the list. No, I don't. I care, but I don't. Like, I know everyone's vote put together makes a change, but what's one vote gonna do? I can't really be asked to sit through, read through what type of politician does this. Like, who's gonna be better to run the country? My one vote isn't gonna count so much, and whatever happens, I'm just gonna have to live with it regardless.
Time out. I need to drink. I can't drink with this. Going this. My God, yeah, that's the only thing now we have got mics.
Yeah,
I can't.
I will leave this in. This is staying in.
Leave this in. Me drinking.
With the new setup, basically, I'm not gonna have to edit because it records the audio and video at the same time. So that saves.
This water's from Tennessee.
From Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't know how I get it.
From Tennessee. That's crazy. That's crazy. You sipping our water? Sipping our water? It gets from the airport, right?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. A lot of stuff, a lot of American stuff, unallowed in like Europe, because Europe's got stricter policies and restrictions and regulations on what things can be added to food that we can eat.
Yeah, the stuff in America is nuts. It's like when I went to New York, the amount of shit that gets put into like even just a McDonald's is nuts.
Do you know what the thing is? I think that's funny about it, right? is I tend to look at ingredients, so I'm not that weird that every time I pick up
Yeah.
an item at the superstore, I look at the ingredients straight away. I mainly do it just for like nutrition, like how much protein, how much carbs, calories, and all that stuff.
You're a gym man.
Of course. It's crazy because all of that shit that gets put on the on food, they say it at the back, but no one reads it. No one reads it. Like they bet on themselves. Exactly. They bet that people will not read exactly what it is, and if they do read it, they won't research on how good or bad it is for you. So they just put it there. They're telling you this is the shit we're putting in. You won't read it, so you're just gonna eat it. That's it.
I'll be so honest. Like, someone could sprinkle a little bit of cocaine in a chicken nugget. I ain't gonna fucking know.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, I want to know how that feels. So I don't do drugs.
But like, you just have to. You just trust people and you trust companies to. You know, I'll be honest. Like, I eat a lot of meat, right? Hold on. Not like that. I eat a lot of meat, especially chicken, yeah? Like, how much food these days is all, like, processed? Like, a lot of it's just fake. Like, you'll buy, like, some, like, chocolate bar from Tesco's or whatever on your weekly shop or whatever. Like, it's all just processed. It's all chemicals mixed together and just, like, things, like, all the ingredients that make it. It's just all processed. Like, how does my body...
Well, because
you know what I mean, like, it's not natural. If I kill a chicken, cook it and eat it, that's natural. Like chicken breast, yeah. Put some seasoning on it, all of that stuff, yeah. But at the end of the day, like, so many things are processed these days.
Yeah, but like, you're complaining, but are you really complaining? Do you know what I mean? Because you're still gonna eat it. You're still gonna eat it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I grew up in a very traditional family, so we would never really eat takeaways because you know how they make it, and we know how we make the food, so we know how organic it is. But in terms of processed food, everything's processed. So there's there's clearly like things like, you know, vegan food, right? That it's not meat, or like vegetarian food that's, you know, they're trying to make it into a vegetarian patty, right? Like, maybe it's like a bit healthy, but that's the most processed thing you can have because it's the most unnatural thing.
Have you ever tried anything like a vegan burger? Because I know your girlfriend's vegan.
Yeah.
So I'm just like wondering, have you ever like dabbled in a bit of veganism?
Yeah, not vegan burger though, because it just doesn't sit right. Because it's just meant to be. But I did try. It's a gyro from Brighton. You know what a gyro is? No. It's like a wrap. It's like a Turkish or Greek wrap.
Okay, yeah.
But it's made like. It's imagine. Shit, I can't get this out. What it's.
I can't remember.
When you make like Mexican food, the circular bread.
A tortilla.
Like a tortilla, right?
Yeah.
A really thick tortilla, right? Right. It's cooked. And then you make it into a curve, like a taco, but it's soft. And you put meat and all that. Meat, vegetables, all that stuff.
Soft taco.
Yeah, something like that. Right? Yeah, but it's like massive. I tried that. And there was like this fake meat. Not sure what it was, but I'll be honest, it actually does taste like meat. There's a couple of things, that they claim, oh, this tastes like meat. This burger is meant to taste like meat. No, it doesn't.
No, a lot of things don't. I'll be real. But one thing I personally tried was, I don't know why. Like, I'm not vegan. I'm not vegetarian. But I just wanted to see how the vegan Greg sausage roll tasted. I'll be real. It's literally I'll be able to tell the difference, but like it's very close to the real thing. I still wouldn't choose it because I'm a meat eater. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. Yeah.
And you know who else has turned into a meat eater?
Who?
Chris from Mr. Beast.
Yeah, meat eater.
That probably wasn't the best way to segue into.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot to say, but also there isn't much to say. In the sense that, what do you think about it? Because I have a thought.
I'm sort of 50-50.
50-50 on what?
Don't get me wrong, like, I'm so for the LGBTQ community. Like,
you're for them.
Like, I don't have a problem with anyone that wants to change their identity or anything like that. It was just like a bit of a shock to everyone, I think, with Chris doing this, because he would always portray himself in videos to be like the man. Do you know what I mean? Like he really portrayed himself as like the man, like proper man type style, like a Texas guy, and all of this. But he's just sort of suddenly changed. I've always thought, you know, I've never had those thoughts, so I'll never be able to understand what the process is to go through all these things. But you know, it's got to be hard to go through it. But I just like it's just suddenly come out there, and especially when you're so famous, like everyone knows Mr. Beast and like his crew and stuff. It's the hate online that he's getting. All of this, it's got to make the decision so much harder. To you know, to be able to, if you feel like you're a different person, or you feel like you want to be, you don't feel right in the body you're in, all this type of stuff, it's got to make it 10 times harder to like go through with it, with the pressure of everyone else.
Let me ask you a quick question. You might not know the answer, but how old is Chris?
How old? I want to say what? I mean, I don't know whether he's getting a divorce, but he was married and he's got a kid, so I want to say late 20s.
Late 20s. So let's
maybe
give a rough estimate: 26 to 28.
Yeah,
something like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the stance that I am a bit critical on Chris's
Okay.
what he's done. Not decision. I was gonna say decision, but I'm
Yeah,
critical on what Chris has done. The reason
In
is
what way?
okay. The reason is right. So he's 26, 20. Just let's say 27, right?
Yeah.
When did he turn 2 years now?
We
We said like a couple months ago, right?
I would say so. Maybe the start of the year, or he might have done it at the start of the year and then went public about it more recently. But
Okay, so 6 months ago.
No, not 6 months. I would say like 2-3 months.
Okay. Well, let's give a benefit of the doubt. Let's give him 6 months.
Yeah.
Right. So by then, let's say he was 26. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not. We live in an age where it's not uncommon for people to come out with their preferred sexuality, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's been like this for a good at least like 7 years.
Yeah.
Like people can come out and there's nothing bad happening to them, right? So if that's true, so let's say it's been legal for like tens of years, right?
Yeah.
And it's been not taboo for at least like 7 years. Let's say
Yeah.
that, right? So since he
Yeah.
was like 2019, right? If this is how he truly was, right? This is how he truly was, even before the fame of Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah.
Why would he wait 7 years, 6, 7 years, get a wife, right? Get her pregnant, have a child, because that child's life is definitely going to be affected by his decision right now.
It's definitely it's definitely going to be different
Right.
to the average family, but
Exactly. And I guess he does have the money, but it's the family. It's less likely to be stable. It's not a traditional family, right?
Yeah.
So why would he wait after he completes all of these things, right?
Yeah.
He waits 7 years because if he was truly like how he is, maybe he is, but if he actually believed in it, right?
Yeah.
Why would he have not done it? 2017 before Mr. Beast was.
Yeah, but that's the thing I was saying. Like, I don't think I'll ever be able to understand it. Like, no one will know how he's feeling that way apart from his friends and family. Like, when do you make the decision? When I know obviously maybe it's over an experience over a couple of months or something, or I don't know. Like, he suddenly you go public with it on social media, but when would you actually decide? I find it a little bit confusing in the sense where I'm like, you might be feeling that way, but for how long have you been feeling that way and hiding it? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because from our knowledge, everyone that's gay or bisexual, right? Everyone that's gay or bisexual, they've been telling people in general that it's a thing that you're born with, right? It's a thing,
Yeah.
you get maybe from puberty, right? Then you get sexually active. Well, not from puberty, but you know what I mean, from like let's say 10 years old, 11 years old, right? So that means he's felt it. If this thing that he has is true, it means he's felt it for at least 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Now, it is his decision when to make it, right?
Yeah.
But what I will say, there's definitely a right time to make that decision and a wrong time to make that decision.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he picked, in my opinion, the wrong time
Okay.
because it does affect lives now negatively.
Yeah, but it can also affect them positively.
In what sense?
Mental health.
In
They
how?
might be thinking before they come out or anything like that. You know, that they feel they're trapped in the wrong body. They're having, you know, if you, imagine yourself, right? Imagine, I don't know. I'm trying to come up with an example. I suppose the best way to say it is like, you know, imagine you're trapped. You feel trapped. Like you can't. You feel different. You're trying to show to the world that because you are a man that you're a man. But
Yeah.
in your head, you're thinking, this isn't how I feel. This isn't how I feel. I can understand where people come from in terms of mental health wise, how it can affect you, and maybe when you come out and actually show to the world who you actually are, or how you actually feel, that it will have a positive impact on your mental health because you feel free now. You feel you don't have that burden on you like I don't feel like I'm in the right body. I don't feel like I'm in the right mindset. All this type of stuff.
Okay. So if he was in the mindset of hiding it, which he was,
Yeah.
right? Like a couple of years ago or whatever, when he was still thinking about, oh, I don't know if this is who I really am.
Yeah.
Should I carry on? Should I come out? Should I don't know, just leave the internet or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And, like we know the truth now, as supposedly we do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That he is what he is. Why would he choose to make a child?
That's the thing. If you know it.
If you know it, why would you make it a child with a woman, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if he's bisexual, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
You still made the wrong decision because you made a child and
Yeah.
you're gonna divorce within like a year of making that child.
Yeah.
That's still a bad decision either way, unless it's like really going bad. But financially, he's great.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's one thing I disagree with. That kid is not going to grow up with a father figure. Don't get me wrong. That person's still the dad. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I feel like if you don't have a mum or your dad went to the shop when you were younger to get some milk and never came back, you need that person for certain situations in your life when you're younger. Sometimes you need a dad. Sometimes you need a mum. There's certain the parents are used for different scenarios. So he's not going to necessarily have that father figure there anymore. I don't know whether the child's a male or a female. I can't remember, but you definitely need a mum for certain situations and a dad for certain situations. It's tough, really. I mean, it's all opinion based. I feel like one thing with opinions now is that people like try and cancel you just for having an opinion.
Yeah, I think it's a bit wild when people try to cancel you because it's what is cancelling? Cancelling is
trying to get you taken down, essentially.
Well, yeah, but because I think I have an opinion, which I'm entitled to have an opinion, right, by pretty much any law, right? You're allowed to have an opinion, pretty much by any law, right? But because I feel really strong about my opinion, and you do as well, but because I think mine is right and yours is wrong, I'm going to take you down somehow. And that's how they do it. That's how people, that's how people get cancelled because some people are scared to speak up. Because look at Andrew Tate, like a lot of his following, right, happened really quickly, right?
Oh, so quick.
I don't think that's by coincidence. I think because most men actually do think and thought, maybe not exactly everything that Andrew Tate says, but like a good 70%, right?
Yeah.
And they never said anything because I guess in that 2021, 2022 area, that's when cancel culture, that was a massive thing, crazy. Yeah. So, and you know how, the average goal is nowadays. You can't say anything that's
trust me.
You criticize anything about a girl, it's misogyny straight away, and they won't get with you. Do you know what I mean?
Actually, I want to touch on that a little bit.
Time out.
Yeah, you got a little water break. We need to get some tripods. Really, that's gonna be the next thing. That would help.
You can just cut this out. Like 2 seconds.
Nah, we're not cutting this out. Now, like I said, with the new setup, means I haven't got to edit, so I don't really want to go in and edit, and then you know what I'm saying.
Okay, he's just a lazy guy.
I am a lazy guy. I'll be real. Yeah, I want to touch on that a little bit because I saw something on TikTok. I can't remember like the exact words this person used, but a girl can say about a man what she does and doesn't like. Mostly what she doesn't like about a man. Yeah. What he feel like he can't do. She might go, I feel uncomfortable. I don't want my boyfriend to go to a club. Or I don't want my boyfriend to go on a lad's holiday. I don't want my boyfriend to just talk to another girl or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And everyone backs her, the girl that says it on TikTok.
Yeah.
If a man then said it and said, I don't want my girl doing this, I don't want my girl doing that, you get everyone start coming at you going, oh, you can't be doing this to a girl, free, like, it's free, all of this. It's free speech.
I think when you mean everyone, I think the reality of who everyone is, it's just girls.
Yeah,
because you do get the odd man who's extreme feminist, radical feminist, right? But usually most men would have the same mindset when talking about this topic, right? And I mean, as a man, you want to be liked, or just anyone would want to be liked. You don't want people to be that cross from a statement that you said. So most people would just keep quiet, right?
Yeah.
But going back to your point that a woman wouldn't get cancelled or wouldn't get...
I suppose it's a better way to put it, like, if a man was to say that, gets cancelled. If a woman was to say it, she gets backed by everyone, like, or the feminists.
Well, because we're in a time where it's it's just drilled into our brain, that as men, we are extremely more privileged than women, right?
Yeah.
Therefore, right, we need to take a step down. We need to somehow empower women. Well, empowerment's women, but we need to make sure anything that a woman says has to go, right? Just to make sure we bring the feminism
the
to
balance,
masculinity,
if you like,
to an even state, right? Where I think it got a bit too much. It got a bit... It's like a seesaw, right? When you put too many people on one side, it's not going to get balanced. It's just going to flip to the other side. And I think we put too many eggs in one basket.
Yeah, but I feel like that seesaw's never going to be balanced.
I think it can be balanced. I think
it will always go one way or the other. Like, I don't think that seesaw will ever be balanced. I can't see a world in where that would happen.
Maybe not in the Western world, like UK or America, those places, right? Because they are, like, currently the momentum is going towards the unbalanced. So it was masculinity and feminism down here, right? They put all the eggs on the feminism, right?
Yeah.
And it's going too high and masculine is going too low.
Yeah.
This is the momentum we're going at right now. All we can really hope, though, is people keep speaking their minds, because like I would listen to what any girl would have to say about what they think it's right, because if we live in a free country and free speech and all that stuff, right? I am like, it wouldn't be right. It's not even morally right to just say, no, I'm not going to listen to you because you're wrong, right? But you do see that with a lot of people from the other side, the girls.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Because we're in a momentum where everyone has to go with them.
Yeah.
With what they say. And it's going to get to a point where a lot of men, especially, and even some girls, will realize, listen, we're getting too much from this. We're able to say too much without getting criticism back, right? And, no one's ever 100% right. It's always 50-50. So it's going to, maybe not now, maybe not in the future, but it will happen where, like, people will start waking up and say, listen, right, feminism, like, girls were put down a lot in the past, right? But now they've been put up way too much.
Yeah.
Anything that they say, they go. Anything that their opinion is, it's the right one. And then I think it will get back to a balanced state.
Yeah. I can agree.
You can agree?
I can agree.
Well, because I'm very smart.
Let's get off this more touchy subject. Because we did have that topic in there because there's been a lot of stuff on TikTok recently and just things going around the news that is just, in the current zeitgeist. It's a big word. You know what zeitgeist means?
No, I do not.
In the current... What's the word? Like, it's the current news.
Okay.
Like the zeitgeist, the main things that are going on in the world.
What's hot right now?
What's hot right now? I can tell you what's hot right now.
Please do.
Elon Musk is hot right now. He's wanting, obviously, I mean, for a while now, people have been knowing that he wants to go to Mars. I was going to say Mars is hot because it's red, but Mars is actually really cold.
Yeah, it's quite cold.
Mars is really cold. There was a new video that SpaceX put out about what it's going to be like to go to Mars, like to live there and have a city on there. I don't think you've seen the video.
I have not.
You might have. I saw it this morning. I'll briefly explain. It was just this rocket going up, this whole, like, the Earth looked futuristic. The rocket goes up, and it sort of skips 9 months because it takes, like, 9 months to get to Mars. And as they land, you can see, like, a whole city on Mars. Like, a whole city. Now, my question is, that is sick. But if you got the chance to go to space, are you doing it?
To Mars or to space?
We'll do both. Just to go to space, like on the space station.
Yeah, I would go. I mean, why would you not go? It's an experience.
It's a big risk.
Is it though?
I feel like maybe not as much anymore.
Yeah, I think that there's too many safety
Right.
procedures that would have to get into, that would be in place.
Yeah.
Because if it was that sketchy, there wouldn't. People would have to like, sign like stuff to be like, if I'm coming down, if I'm just dying,
Yeah.
who cares?
Well,
Do you know
obviously,
what I mean?
I feel like Mars is more of a risk, but Mars is a commitment. Like, it takes 9 months to get there.
I believe
Wow.
that at least in the next 100 years we're not gonna get to Mars.
100.
Well, no, actually, no.
Elon Musk wants to do it in
How?
30.
I worded that wrong. We can get to Mars, but we will not live in Mars. There will be no cities in Mars.
There won't be like a civilization living on
There,
Mars.
yeah, nothing like that.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to Mars, I reckon, within our lifetime. I mean, Elon Musk wants to do it within 30 years' time from now.
I think that's doable.
I think it's doable, to be fair. I mean, it's a long trip. It's you got to find the right people to be committed to do it. But imagine, yeah, because obviously Mars, whole new planet, like no one's been on there before, right? You're gonna be the first to do everything, yeah. I would love, like, imagine your claim to fame. You were the first person to have a wank on Mars. That's a massive. Do you know what? I'll take that title.
Okay. Well, it'd be
Let's be
extremely hard, right? First, because of gravity. Second,
That's the problem.
it's
You have all the liquids
yeah, and
flying
it's
everywhere.
extremely cold, right? It's extremely cold. So,
Just freeze.
will it come out?
That's a
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
But yeah, I would rather step on Mars first than do that. I'd say I would rather have my claim of fame to step on Mars first.
But I've always said, imagine like you could hold it against everyone in the world. Yeah, imagine that you could say that you banged Queen Lizzie. I mean, she's obviously dead now. Rip Liz. But imagine saying, saying to everyone, I had smashed Queen Lizzie. Like, if you had the opportunity, yeah, or if you guys have the opportunity, yeah, to
What age are you
resurrect
talking about?
Lizzie. What age?
Yeah.
She's old.
Well, like
We're
current.
talking like current, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, she's in the grave right now. When she was alive 5 years ago, you had the opportunity. Queen Lizzie.
no, because you know how girls are. They just get attached. I'm not looking for a commitment with Queen Lizzie. You know, she does have quite a lot of money, right? But I'm not ready for that fame. Especially 5 years ago, I would have been 14 years old. I don't think I could have done it at 14 years old.
Bro, I'll be real. I'm taking that. Don't care about the fame. Don't care about the money. I can tell my mates I banged Queen Lizzie. That is a sick thing to be able to say. I'll be real.
Would they believe you though?
No, probably not.
Exactly.
I'd have to have proof. Don't know what type of
Okay.
proof, but I'm not willing to provide any proof.
You've asked me quite a wild question, right?
Yes, sir.
Actually, I will get on that question later. Since we're talking about Elon Musk, that's the big topic we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Elon Musk with the BBC interview. Have you seen it?
Do you know what I have? I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
That was funny, man. He was shutting down the BBC guy like instantly. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I think people are too broad because if you guys have not seen the interview, he basically said there's a lot of hate speech on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's why the interview was there, and the interviewer was basically trying to chat shit about his platform, which Elon Musk owns now, right? Just trying to say your platform was shit because there's too much shit being talked, too much negative stuff.
But I'm not. I agree with the BBC guy. Like on Twitter, I'm seeing so much hate speech, but I believe in free speech. So it's just people being free, speaking what they want to say. You know.
Hate speech is
the
different
difficult-
than free speech.
Yeah, but free speech means you can say what you want, right?
Yes, but there are consequences to what you can say.
Oh, of
if
course.
if it can affect someone negatively.
Of course.
If it's if you say kill yourself to someone who's about to kill themselves, probably not the best thing to do. I guess you can. Could you consider that as hate speech?
Yeah, but of course that's hate speech.
Maybe it's motivational speech.
Of course motivational speech to do the wrong thing.
Yeah. Well, if he's about to do it, right?
Like, the thing is, I mean, the BBC interviewer was saying there's too much hate speech on Twitter, and Elon Musk was basically saying, well, it's free speech, so it's allowed. He unbanned Andrew Tate on Twitter. He unbanned Donald Trump on Twitter. All these things because he believes in free speech. And with free speech is going to come hate speech. You can't get rid of that. It's what some people believe. There's going to be bad people in the world. All this type of stuff. But it's a difficult one, really, because I believe in free speech, but I believe there can be too much free speech and where there's going to be extremists that are going to go too far and can damage people's lives by what they say.
How do you know it's not already there? How do you know?
What do you mean?
Because guess what? Everyone that is being banned from Twitter are just people who have a certain political views or some views about men, some views about girls or women.
Yeah.
But there's accounts, there is terrorist accounts, like quite well-known terrorist accounts on Twitter. Which, again, is hate speech, but you wouldn't want to ban it because it's not to do with you. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't affect your life.
You can go on Twitter, and you can come across on the For You part a video of a beheading.
Yeah.
Like from ISIS.
They're not a thing anymore.
That is messed up. You know what I'm saying? A little water break. My man's getting dry. Damn. Got to lubricate the mouth. Get it going. Yeah, so you can you can find some mad stuff on Twitter. I mean, it's stupid. So I feel like Twitter's a platform at the moment. Twitter is the only platform that isn't really monetized. Like, there's not people restricting it and things like that.
Okay.
Like, YouTube is very restricted. Like, Instagram is very restricted.
Not monetized.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get demonetized, but YouTube can take a video down within seconds, whereas Twitter, everything just sort of gets left up, and it's messed up. I think it's messed up. I think there should be a level of monetization, and restrictions. Like,
you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
there's
like
you don't want a 5-year-old kid being exposed to a video.
But that's the thing; they have restrictions. So if you do an account that you're under the age of 18, automatically you can't see stuff.
Yeah, but can you try? You have to you have to give proof of like ID and things like that, I suppose. But I guess that's like a firewall in terms of like blocking people out that are underage from seeing things. But even still,
there's some bad stuff on Twitter.
Some extremists.
There's some extremists, right? So I mean, those obviously they promote death and all that stuff,
Would
right?
you class Andrew Tate as an extremist?
No.
Do you not think they're extreme views, no matter if they're right or wrong? They are quite heavy views. Would you say, extremist doesn't always mean terrorism. It can mean people with very strong views, such as like Piers Morgan.
He does not have strong views.
Piers Morgan has very strong views. I actually love it. Have you seen his?
I think overall he's a well-educated man in the sense of like he did start off hating Andrew Tate. I'm not here trying to cocksuck Andrew Tate, but I'm just saying he did start hating Andrew Tate. Had him on, had like a 2-hour chat with him, and then realized maybe he's not that bad of a guy, and then doesn't actually hate him now. So I like that about him. He's got a relatively unbiased personality.
Yeah.
But I'm back to your question, Andrew Tate. Is he an extremist though? Because like,
I think he is in terms of his views. No matter if you think they're right or wrong, you can have an extremist that most people believe that their views are right. You can have extremists.
But why would you class them as?
Think of the oil protesters. They're extremists. They go to extreme lengths to be able to get their point across. A lot of people think they're right. A lot of people think they're wrong. It's not terrorism. Yeah,
but the massive difference with them, right? They can endanger lives. They can affect lives negatively on the spot, right? And they or they actively go out to places to point their views. Right. Yeah. Andrew Tate doesn't really do that. Extreme. I wouldn't class him as extremist. I'll be honest, because he has strong views, right? But so we all have strong views about certain topics, right? Yeah. We're not extremist. Everyone pretty much has strong views on certain things. Like I can say basketball is so much better than football. Football is trash compared to basketball, right? I'm not an extremist.
But you're only an extremist if you go to extreme lengths to get that point across.
And does Andrew Tate?
If you went to football games, I don't know, Arsenal versus Fulham, I don't know. If you went to there, and you had banners, you're running on the pitch invading, like trying to protest that basketball's better, all of this, like that is an extremist. You're going to extreme lengths to get your point across.
Yeah.
So I would say, in my view, I do agree with a lot of Andrew Tate stuff, but I also disagree with a lot of his stuff. I'm sort of like...
But you said he's an extremist. How is he an
Yeah, I was
extremist?
saying extremist because he goes to extreme lengths to be able to get his point across. He would go on these big interviews. He's built up a fan base. Okay, let me rephrase it.
He gets asked to go in interviews.
Yeah, maybe his fan base are the extremists because they go to the extreme lengths to be able to do it, to be able to get his point across. You know, they will go out and like say bad things just to make people believe in Andrew Tate, or you know, they go to extreme lengths to be able to get people to be on their side with Andrew Tate. Whereas Andrew Tate just sits there and talks like we are.
So he's not an extremist then. Maybe his fans are.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll rephrase it. His fans are maybe like his close, like big fans are extremists.
Well, yeah, but that's with like any fans. You go to like a Beyonce, like when what's her name? Taylor Swift won the Grammy over Beyonce.
Yeah.
If you're a big Beyonce fan, like Kanye West was he like an extremist? Like that,
Well, yeah,
I guess you can class that as an extremist.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
you go to great lengths for a opinion you have.
Exactly, because you think your opinion is right compared to others, and your actions are right compared to others, which Andrew Tate is not. Some of his fans, I don't know his fans, so I wouldn't know if his fans are extremists.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know, I can comment on my opinions on Andrew Tate and what I've seen from him. His fans, obviously, like we wouldn't know his fans.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's impossible to answer that question because maybe they're extremists, maybe they're not. Maybe some of them do stuff. Do stuff that can be classed as extremist. Some of his fans a bit more laid back. They just agree with what he says and they just take the information in for themselves.
What do you think on the situation with KSI? Obviously, it's been like a week now. It's been quite a while. The racial slur that he said.
The racial slur. So I've seen it a lot of from both sides. So I come pretty much with anything with opinions. Right? I will see it first. I'll have my personal opinion on it based on my life and what I've been through and what I've experienced, right? I have my opinion on it. You know, if I don't need to share, I don't need to share it. And I will listen to people also, right? Because again, it doesn't impact me directly. It can impact other people directly. So I would like to hear their opinions on it. I think overall, so if I remember correctly, it actually run me through it. How was it said? Was it said as a joke? When was it said?
The Sidemen Sunday was Countdown, the TV show, and I don't even know how Countdown works.
Yeah.
They, you know, you pick a letter out each time, and a very obvious word could be made out of the bunch of letters that were mixed up.
Which was?
I'm not going to say the word. I think people already know. And they were all laughing because they knew the word was there, and the only person to actually say the word was KSI. He did say before he said it that he doesn't mean it in a malicious way, doesn't mean all of this. But in my opinion, he knows that his fan base is massive. He knows how influential he is. He just shouldn't have said the word. I mean, the editors were at fault. It got through 2 lines of security, if you like. KSI was the first one. He just shouldn't have said it. Editors should have just cut it out, but they didn't. So
did they not cut it out?
No, they didn't cut it out of the video. That's the whole thing.
Was it not blurred? Was it not like?
Well, yeah, it was bleeped, but it was very obvious what he said.
Yeah, but they bleeped it out.
Yeah.
So
but he still
they did cut it out. Well, obviously they didn't cut the footage, right? They didn't cut the footage, but they cut out him saying the derogatory term.
But I mean, he has. It's very. You could read his lips that he said it. You know what I mean? Like. Okay. It's a sticky situation really because they all used to say much worse back in the day.
Yeah.
Like when YouTube was like, you know, you could sort of say anything and still get monetized and all this stuff. So you could just bring up something from his past and it's even worse. Do you know what I mean? But it's a really sticky one, really. I mean, he shouldn't have said it. That's the verdict, really.
I mean, what the consequences of it? Yeah. You know, if he valued if he looked at his consequences compared the actual effort of him saying the word, obviously he would have not said it because too much backlash, right? Yeah. So there was no point. He could have just said, I don't know, some other word would have got him that. In terms of the reaction from the people, right? Because if I remember correctly, it was quite harsh on him, I'd say. You know, they made him like do massive apologies. They made him go into mosques and stuff, right?
Well, no, that was. It could have been his PA team. It could have been his team saying like, "This would be good for the news, and it shows you, puts you in a good light. But it was his decision to go to mosques to understand why the word is so harmful to those people, because he didn't understand the impact it had on that community. I have respect for him for going into those places and sorting it out, but I also do believe that as part of his just PA team,
PR.
PR even. Speaking of personal assistant, his PR team helping him out and getting it done. So I'm sort of like, well, if that's the case, then it wasn't on his own accord. So it's not him doing that. So
Okay, I mean, going to my opinion on this matter, I love everyone. Well, I don't. I have respect for a lot of people, right? And they come from all different ethnic backgrounds. White, black, Indian, what other ones? South American, South Africa, literally all of them. I know a lot of people, right? Yeah, you shouldn't have said it. You know, I agree with that, because in terms of backlash, you shouldn't have said it, right? I can't personally comment on how much that word affects me, right?
Well, of course, yeah.
I can only comment on how much people hated their reaction. Because their reaction was quite extreme.
Yeah.
Right, I get he's a big guy. He's in terms of popularity, right? The reaction was quite extreme, right? And if I remember correctly, it went on the BBC News. They even posted it on Instagram, right? I feel like context was severely missed out on.
Context is severely missed out on a lot of things, like especially Andrew Tate as well. I don't want to keep speaking about Andrew Tate, but with KSI's one, you know, they'll just stick the clip on of him saying it and just whacking it up. Again, no matter the context it was actually in, it could be in the best context in the world. He still shouldn't have said it, but if you if you have it in context, it's not like he was taking a mick out of those people or that community. Again, regardless, he still shouldn't have said it, but context is always needed for a big thing.
Well, because the reason why I'm saying context was needed was like severely needed, because if everyone who reacted to, you know, that comment or that clip, right, if they knew exactly what the context was, right, and they came from an unbiased perspective, they would realize that, yes, you know, I shouldn't have said it because it's a derogatory term, right? And it has offended people in the past. It can offend people in the future, right? They wouldn't have had it as an extreme reaction. But because I feel like nowadays, even with social media or just the news in general, right? I mean, they've been doing this for ages. They like to take things out of context because that's what's going to get them clicks, likes, newspaper buys. So I mean, from what I can expect is that the BBC just said, listen, big music artist, YouTuber, boxing guy, has said extreme racial slur towards South Asian people. Is it South Asian or West Asians? Because
I think it's
South
Asians.
South Asians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's actually South Asian. Yeah. So extreme derogatory term, racial slur towards South Asians, and that's how they titled it. And then, you know, to most people, we don't just scroll and see exactly what happened. We don't research that, right? So to everyone who's probably read that, they were like, "Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
I don't like him. No, there's no way I can like him after he says that. He disrespected my whole community, right?"
Yeah.
But that's where I'm going back to context is needed, because you can still be offended by it. You have all the right to be offended by it. I feel like the extreme reaction from it was a bit too much, I reckon.
Yeah. Okay.
A bit too much, in the sense that, yes, you can be offended because you said it like a racial slur, a derogatory term, right? But he didn't say it in a malicious way.
Yeah.
He did not say it to put down people, South Asians, right?
Yeah.
He did not say it to do that. His intentions, like, if you actually do, I don't know KSI personally, but we've seen a lot of videos from KSI, so you can tell he's not a racist person, right?
Yeah.
So off of his personal background and context, right, he's experienced racism in the past, right? So the likelihood of him actually being racist, very low. He has a South Asian person in the Sidemen group, so again, likelihood of him being an actual racist, very low. Just because he said one racial slur, which was, again, with context, it wasn't, it shouldn't, you can take it as offense.
He didn't mean it maliciously.
Yeah, he didn't mean maliciously. You can take it as offense or not offended, right?
Yeah.
But you know, if you look at it from an unbiased perspective, you can really tell, yeah, that the reaction that he's got, the extreme negative reaction that he's got, was a bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you agree with that?
I can agree with that. I mean, regardless, you know, he knows that he's so famous. He knows you're not going to be able to please everyone. There's always going to be people that are peed off. I don't agree that he shouldn't have said it, but no, I don't.
Whoa.
Right, no,
That is your take.
Hold on. I mean, I don't agree
They should have said it.
that you should have said it. I think that's the right way of saying it. I'm trying to get my words muddled around. I'm tired.
Can't give that an excuse.
Yeah, so yeah, he shouldn't have said it. He shouldn't have said it. But people are just crazy. People are crazy. It goes. The thing is, people are crazy, and it just goes around social media so quickly, in seconds.
I guess you can take that back to the point that I was talking about with feminism, right? How girls were put down in the past, so now they should be put up a lot more. So anything that they say that goes, and men have been put into a mindset where we have to allow girls to say what they think, and that is right, what they think is right. I guess it's the same thing now because of racism in the past. There's still racism now, yeah, but it was way worse in the past. I think we can all agree to that. That now we cannot criticize or anything. You know, people, especially white people, cannot criticize a lot of things that people, black people or South Asian, Chinese people do, right? Because it can come across as racism. And again, nowadays, people are labeled racism very loosely, but if you're labeled as a racist right now, it's extremely bad. It is bad, but you know, like it's put to a crazy state. I guess a lot of people who, you know, shouldn't come with a biased opinion, right? Because they wouldn't originally take offense to it because they're not South Asian. So let's say white people or black people, right? Because we're put into a mindset right now that, wow, like I have to presume that every South Asian person has took offense to it. Therefore, I'm going to comment, wow, that is nuts. He should be cancelled, right? Because we have been put in a mindset that we have to presume someone has took offense to something. I reckon
you have to just act cautiously. You have to move cautiously these days in certain things. Like you have to just think of the bigger picture and think, should I say this? Probably not. If you have to second guess saying it, you probably shouldn't say it.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree. I agree in the overall sense that he shouldn't have said that term. Because of a lot of reasons. You know, again, he probably lost money. He lost deals. He lost some fans, right?
Yeah.
What I don't agree on, and I'll say it again, what I don't agree on is the extreme negative response he got from it. Yeah. First, again, like I said to you, context was extremely needed for you to understand the situation. And second of all, what I just said, which was people just go with the flow. Yeah. You know what I mean? You see something on the BBC, oh, okay, so I said a racial slur, right? And because like I said to you, we're in a mindset where we have to assume that because it's a racial slur or it's an offensive slur, right? That who it might be offended, it might be pointed to, is going to be 100% offended by it. We have to comment on it. We have to be like, oh, this is so not wrong. Just a lot of it is just to show that we're not racist, to prove that we're not racist. Because again, we're in an era where we have to prove to ourselves that we're not racist. It doesn't go just for white people. It goes for a lot of races. Do you know what I mean? Again, like he's black, he's not white, so racism can go any type of way. That's my view on it.
Wow, we got pretty deep in this episode.
Yeah. Well, you asked me a question. I gave you a pretty good answer.
That was a pretty good answer. I like these type of conversations where it's a bit more controversial, a bit deep. Like everyone has different opinions on the subject. That's what I like. I like hearing different opinions, what people think about different things. But yeah, I'll be real. I'm tired.
Yeah, well, I have one last question. Tell us, how good are the mics? Are they shit? Are they good?
Yes.
Are they great?
Let us know. We're gonna in the future. This whole set's gonna be decorated.
Yeah.
This light is just the first. We upgraded the mics.
Tripod is next.
Yeah, I need to upgrade the tripod as well. The tripod's a bit ropey at the moment. But I don't even know what episode this was. But whatever it was, we'll see you in the next one sometime soon. So see you in the next one. Peace.